Well, friends, today I am with you, and we are now speaking about our stories, our memories, and our life. So let's start with literature, as because literature reflects life beautifully. So I will recommend a book. A book must be, you must read it. That is a beautiful book for reading. The author is John Auster. John Auster, and the book's name is Winter Journal. In that beautiful book, John Auster is telling a thing. He is telling about choices. He is telling that I didn't like vegetables, so I didn't eat vegetable. After an accident, when the doctor recommended him to eat more vegetables, Auster telling very frankly that I didn't like vegetable. And here comes the two realities. In India, in Europe, you have a choice for eating vegetable, choice for eating fruits, choice for everything. But in India, the poor people have very little choice. They didn't get scope for a longer choice. So in India, the especially urban poor didn't get the right things. They didn't get the vegetables, so they didn't have any choice for eating. In a rural area, the people have fields, so they can eat some vegetables, some fruits from their fields. But in urban area, the people, there was mostly the laborers who have no agricultural lands. They didn't get any vegetable, they didn't get any fruits. The case is, but the thing is now very worst, now getting very worst. Yesterday I went to the marketplace and I saw the 1 kilo potato, the price of 1 kilo potato is now 39 rupees. What is that? Potato is one of the main thing for eating in Bengal. In potato, if the price of potato is 39 rupees, if you bring 100 grams of chili, that will cost 20 rupees. How will survive? As because after the corona, most people in Bengal and India didn't earn above the 5,000 or 10,000. So if they pay 49 or near about 40 rupees for 1 kilo potato, how they survive? So in India, poor people didn't get the right to choice. They didn't get fruit. They didn't get accommodations. They even didn't get newer toilets also. So there is a tragedy. And in this tragedy, we have a story. A government is what I will say about a government. A government is a servant of people. But in India, that is a horror tragedy for us. That is a horror tragedy for everyone. After 90s, governments are specially helping the corporate class, and these governments are now the laborers of corporate. This conception, government is laborer of corporate, this very conception is representing the new liberal ideology. After this agriculture reform, what happened? Why the prices is now increasing? 1 kilo potato, why is in now 39 rupees? As because after the agricultural reform took place, the BJP government implemented that reform. There is a clean sheet for everyone. A MNC can now store tons of potato. There is no limitation about storing that. Once upon a time, India implemented some laws. Storing of vegetables, storing of potatoes, or these things are essential commodities. So there is some limitation for storing this type of materials. But now everything is ruined. And second thing, that is also most important, that every government in India gives some subsidies to the farmers. But in this agricultural reform, all the subsidies are now vanishing away. It is like a magic of PC Sarkar. All the things, all the good things once upon a time our farmers getting from the government, they all are vanishing away. And not only that, the main thing of this agriculture reform is to destruct the government organization. I will give you a beautiful example for this. Once upon a time, every government maintained a Bij Nigam. This Bij Nigam this Bij Nigam is an organization who produce many things, who produce seeds for farmers, who produce seeds for farmers in a cheap price. But now all the Bij Nigams have been destroyed by neoliberal policies. So farmers have to bring the seeds from market with a huge price. And that is the neoliberal reform. All sort of things now are in the hand of corporates. All sort of things are now in the hands of corporates. So India is facing a trouble. And not only that, the neoliberal ideology killing the sovereignty and the independence of our nation. Why this has happened? Neoliberal prescription is saying that you cannot give the fiscal, they are implementing the Fiscal Responsibility Act. In that Fiscal Responsibility Act, they are saying a thing. They are telling that you cannot give subsidy, the budget deficit must not be above 3%. I am a government, I am an elected government, I have an agenda of people. If, yes, I am responsible to our people, but I am not responsible to the neoliberal policies. But when I am in power, they are forcing one thing, that you cannot give the budget, you cannot give subsidies to the poor. The budget Fiscal Responsibility Act is saying that budget only 3% of country. And to fight this illness, our literature is giving a new scope and new dimension. How? I am coming to this point. Let's come to Sukumar Roy, one of the greatest writers of Bengal. What he is saying? In his age of 11, he written a beautiful poem about India, about our social beings. He is a famous debater, and he debated with his teacher who is against the principle of cinema, and he convinced him that cinema is not an inferior art. That is Sukumar Roy. And if you come to Sukumar Roy's writing, you will find he is far ahead of the time. In his writing, he exposed the historical materialism of Indian scenario. How? A question comes. Firstly, the Gomratherium and other characters, the Hojo Boro law, in English explaining Sukumar Roy is the uphill task. Others, all the things, others characters, like Gomratherium, like Hojo Boro law, like Lokhuner Shoktikhel, every play or every drama creates a thing. That is fight. You have to fight against the hegemony of the power. You have to fight against the wordmongerism of power. Every political power creates a history of, creates the illusion of words. They always say that if we are in power, we will create 2 crores of jobs. But they didn't say about the safety of that jobs. They didn't say about what is the salary of that job. They didn't say about that. They didn't say about the security conditions of that job. And in every writings of Sukumar Roy expose that. In today's scenario, Lokhuner Shoktikhel is one of the biggest writing of Sukumar Roy, like Hojo Boro law. In Lokhuner Shoktikhel, we find that one day The younger brother of Ram, Lakshman, is so excited that Ravan is coming. So in that Lakhane Shakti we will find a beautiful story of Indian narrative, a beautiful story of a Indianness in another way, the Indianness of working class. In working class, you find the abstractness of life. In a worker life, you will find the beautiful abstractness of life. And you will also find the beautiful words. They told anything very straight, and they told anything with some abstract messages. In Sukumar Roy's every writing, you will find that the tone is very abstract, but writing is very straight, like a worker. A worker always said something in an abstract notion because he is facing the agony, he is facing the pain. Where a painful man, when he is smiling, his smile creates some abstract thing. So we like Mona Lisa because the agony and pain is reflecting in the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci, which created Mona Lisa. So like Mona Lisa, every workers and every suffering soul has some abstractness, but they speak very beautifully, they speak very straightforward. This straightforwardness and abstractness creates Sukumar Roy's writings. So it is very tragic for us that the socialist and Marxist platforms didn't afford Sukumar Roy with the thought of historical materialism. Somehow they're written about Sharat Chandra, they're written about Rabindranath, but in case of Sukumar Roy, they didn't afford him properly. That is our tragedy, because Sukumar Roy affolds the socialistic values, he affolds the democratic flavor of Indian society in a newer manner. And here I will say another thing. Some people are saying that in today's scenario, literature is dying. The new liberal thinkers is saying that in today's scenario, government is dying because government has no job. New liberal prescriptions now are governing anything. When a government comes to power, new liberal thinkers give a suggestion and they maintain that. And some people are saying that literature is also dying. Government is dying and literature also is dying. The people who are saying that, I'm not telling they are new liberals, but I'm telling another thing. Literature is not dying in India and world, as because literature tells a new thing. It tells us that it's telling us that we have to fight more courageously. In today's context, if you go through Facebook, if you go through WhatsApp, if you go through any social media, you will find lots of literature. So literature is not dying. Literature is creating a new space, a new abstract space to fight against this new normal etiquettes, these new liberal etiquettes. This new liberal philosophy, literature is fighting is that. So in every social medium, you will find lots of literature. And not only that, a fair percentage people always reads book. Sukumar Roy is very popular writer. Upendra Kishore Rai Chaudhary is very popular writer. Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay is very popular writer. So a numerous amount of people are reading this type of books. So literature is not dead. Yes, in 20th century, we have to understand the literature from our perspective, not the perspective of 19th century. In 19th century, every author is hero. But in 20th, 21st century, the position of authors are somehow decreasing or diminishing, but position of literature, the value of literature, the connectivity of literature is growing. So we are in a beautiful position. First thing, in 21st century, we are understanding the new liberal threats. We are also understanding the new wave of literature. Here I stop today. I will hope you will like these programs and you will say your valuable opinions about that, and you will subscribe this channel for new voices and new dimensions, and I hope you will stood behind every new thoughts in YouTube. Okay, good night.